listening to DINO 106.5, bringing you the greatest Mesozoic hits, spanning all the way from the Triassic, the Jurassic, and the Cretaceous period. Now, here's the dinosaur review for kids.
Welcome everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the very first Dinosaur Review for Kids Prehistoric Cage Match episode. This is going to be a special one, and one for all the ages of the Mesozoic era, that is. You guys see what I did there? Now, over the last 9 episodes of the Dinosaur Review for Kids podcast, we have reviewed a number of scary and timid dinosaur species, including the Tyrannosaurus rex, the Triceratops, the Suchomimus, the Amargasaurus, the Velociraptor, the Dilophosaurus, the Pachycephalosaurus, the Apatosaurus, and finally, the Spinosaurus. Each episode, I gave each species a fossil score, 1 out of 10 stars, aka fossils. 1 fossil for some of the weakest dinosaurs, and 10 fossils for some of the strongest dinosaurs. Today, we take the top 2 scoring dinosaur species from the previous 9 episodes, and we let them go one-on-one in the squared circle, in the volcano den, in the Mesozoic swamp, in the Prehistoric Cage Match. Now, let's take you straight to the action. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening, presented by the Stomp Chomp Roar Company, providing prehistoric-themed education and entertainment. Also, by the Stomp Chomp Roar Patreon Club, where you too can become a Junior Dinosaur Ranger. When the action begins, I myself, Dinosaur Ranger Anthony, will score and referee this contest. And now, this is the moment all of you around the world have been waiting for, live from the Stomp Chomp Roar Science Lab studios in Omaha, Nebraska. It's time for the Heavyweight Theropod Championship of the World. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a fossil score of 9.2, standing 23 feet high, 50 feet long, and weighing 8.5 tons. From the Middle Cretaceous period, some 98 million years ago, fighting out of northern Africa, it's the largest theropod, it's the spiny lizard, it's the Spinosaurus aegypticus! Introducing its opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a fossil score of 9.3, standing 20 feet high, 40 feet long, and weighing in at 7.5 tons. From the late Cretaceous period, some 68 million years ago, fighting out of North America, it's the one and only, the Tyrant Lizard King! It's the Tyrannosaurus Rex! Let's have a fair, clean fight. Touch claws and back into your corners.
Round 1.
The stage is set, folks. The cage door has been shut, and the reflection of the Cretaceous sunset is reflecting across the Pangean swamp. The Spinosaurus is swimming towards the water's edge and stands up bipedally on 2 legs next to the coastline and looks towards the brush of conifer trees in the distance. The sounds from within the forest are eerie and filled with noises of other prehistoric reptiles. The reflection of the sun is slowly disappearing from atop the water as the Spinosaurus rises up with its 6-foot sail upon its back. The Spinosaurus looks towards the trees and hears the footsteps of something so massive, so fierce, and so unmatched since Barnum Brown dug it up in 1902. The trees have begun to shake and the conifer needles fall to the ground, only to be pushed into the soft, muddy sediment by these massive 36-inch footprints. The ground has stopped shaking, and the Spinosaurus looks all across the tree line, only to be met with darkness. What is that? Can it be? It's the Tyrannosaurus Rex. The T-Rex storms onto the battlefield and gives out a huge roar that can be heard for miles. The T-Rex has started to pick up speed, up to 20 miles per hour, as it charges towards the colossal Spinosaurus. The battlefield is shaken, folks, as the T-Rex stomps across the battleground. The eyes of the Spinosaurus widen. I don't think the Spinosaurus believes it's being challenged. The Spinosaurus digs its paddle-like feet into the soft sandy coast and braces for impact. The T-Rex opens its wide jaws as drool starts to pour from its 56 banana-shaped teeth. The Spinosaurus quickly shifts its body weight away from the Rex as the Rex slides right on past the Spinosaurus and enters the warm, shallow waters. The Spinosaurus reaches out with its incredibly long arms and adds 3 slashes across the T-Rex's back with its large claws. The first strike has been landed, folks. The Spinosaurus quickly dives towards the water and opens its crocodilian-like snout, exposing those 64 straight and conical-like teeth as it sets eyes on the legs of the T-Rex. The Rex jumps back towards the sandy coast as the Spinosaurus barely skims the side of the Rex, but yet again delivers a quick slash of its claws along the Rex's right leg as it enters the water, going down on all 4 legs. The T-Rex takes a couple slow limps forward to get fully out of the water and out of danger. Blood is dripping from the leg of the tyrant and has created a trail that leads back into the shallow seas. The Spinosaurus swims around once in a circle motion up to 25 miles per hour and comes back up the shore as it sets its eyes on the king. Is it time to long live the king? The 2 huge theropods are in a dead stare. Each species is looking at the other with their forward-facing eyes, each with great eagle-like vision. Both of them are just waiting for the next one to strike. The 2 dinosaurs start charging at each other. Boom! They have just collided! They have just slammed into one another like heavy football players or large sumo wrestlers, each one trying to hold their ground as they whip their heads against each other. Both dinosaurs are delivering a couple head strikes against the other, and now the Spinosaurus is starting to stumble backwards into the soft, sandy sediment along the water's edge. The T-Rex lunges towards the Spinosaurus, trying to grip its jaws around the Spinosaurus's neck with its 12,000-pound bite force, but the Spinosaurus quickly uses those long arms to protect itself from the Rex's bite. With a knock, the Spinosaurus bashes its head against the side of the Rex's body, pushing it back towards the tree line and off the beach. Slash! The Spinosaurus claws strike the body of the T-Rex for a 3rd time. Is this it for the king? Blood begins to drip down the side of the Rex. The Rex lets off another gigantic roar. The Tyrant Lizard King swings its tail around to shock and daze the Spinosaurus for just a slight moment. Along the battlefield, the sounds of the chirping Compsognathus have started to fill the air. They can smell the blood falling from the T-Rex's 3 wounds. The T-Rex pushes forward 2 large steps and lowers its head as it makes contact with the Spinosaurus's lower body. The Spinosaurus quickly feels itself in defense as it starts to be pushed further and further from the muddy swamp. The sun has set and the moon is starting to glisten across the swampy waters. In one quick attempt, the Spinosaurus bursts towards the side of the T-Rex and exposes its fish-like tail. Bam! The Rex has sunk its serrated backwards facing teeth all around the Spinosaurus's tail. The bite force quickly tears into the Spinosaurus's pebble-like flesh. The Rex maintains its grip and swings its head from side to side, forcing the Spinosaurus to fall backwards towards the Rex and onto the hard, rocky ground. The T-Rex quickly pulls the tail forward and releases its grip as it steps forward, crushing the Spinosaurus's sail into the dirt. The Spinosaurus lets out a large roar. In one last attempt, the Spinosaurus tries to throw its head backwards and towards the Rex's lower limbs, but in one smooth motion, the Rex pulls its head forward and lowers its jaws around the Spiny Lizard's neck and crushes its teeth down into the Spino's flesh. The claws of the Spinosaurus drop to the ground just as quick as the Allied bomber ray destroyed Ernest Stromer's 1912 holotype Spinosaurus during World War II. The life of the Spinosaurus is pulled away from the reptilian-like body. The bell has rung. The T-Rex lifts its head back up towards the moon and bellows out yet another large roar that could be heard all throughout the forest. The compies quickly push themselves onto the battlefield and sneak a bite after bite into the Spinosaurus. The match has ended, folks. And now for your Prehistoric Cage Match judges scorecard. Folks, this matchup all comes down to the territory. Early on towards the waterline, the Spinosaurus had the leading edge, striking the Rex 3 times with its massive arms and claws. But as the battle made its way more inward, the T-Rex was able to use its home field to its advantage. The Spinosaurus is a larger theropod, reaching heights up to 3 feet taller than the Rex, and as much as 10 feet in length over the T-Rex. The larger arms also help the Spinosaurus deliver a few strikes on the T-Rex that, if not healed properly, could also become infected, and the Rex could also lose this battle a mere couple of weeks later to infection. After the Rex moves the battle towards the trees, it is able to use its bulkier skull to push the Spinosaurus forward and deliver such a larger blow to this semi-aquatic dinosaur. In the end, the sail would be used against him as the Rex stomps the Spinosaurus into the fossil record. At the end of the day, although the Spinosaurus is larger, the bite force of the Rex would be a greater weapon than just a few extra feet in size that the Spinosaurus has over the T-Rex. Now, if the Spinosaurus had kept the Rex in the water, this may be a totally different outcome. But until then, and still, your reigning and defending heavyweight theropod champion of the world, the great one, the Tyrant Lizard King, the Tyrannosaurus Rex! What a battle, everyone. That was truly a fight for the ages. I just want to thank you all so very much for all of you that have tuned in over the last 10 episodes, plus the pilot episode. I have had so much fun doing these podcasts week after week, and I cannot wait to do the next 9 dinosaur species and lead up to Prehistoric Cage Match Part 2. If you guys have a favorite dinosaur species that has not yet been featured, send me an email and I'll add that dinosaur species to the list. Just look me up at stompchomproar.com. I hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday, and remember to keep digging for dinosaurs. I'll see you all next time, Dino Hunters. Dinosaur Ranger Anthony, signing off.